Hey guys, what is up? Locidian back again with another redstone walkthrough, some of the Bedrock Edition stuff, and we're going to look at signal runs today. Now, signal runs, this is basically just the concept of getting a redstone signal from point A up to point B or across to point B. You know, we're making some longer runs, you know, maybe for item elevators or to get a button signal pressed way up top to come down here to maybe switch some stuff around or to activate something. And so this is the first design. This is a glass tower design. So when you push the button, that torch goes out, which turns off that light up there. Now, in the middle of this, we have the expansion block area, and this just lets you tile this thing on up more than 12 blocks. So by default, this would only go 12 blocks high with the glass tower. With this repeater design in here, you get the extra space, and what this does, the slab stops this power from going downward. Power cannot travel down a half of a block, and so it prevents this power from feeding down and back into this repeater, creating an infinite power source here, and instead just lets it, you know, get a boost and come right on up and continue up the tower here. Next up is a torch design. Now the torch tower, this is pretty simple, right? We have a redstone output on this side, and if I push the button, these torches all switch around, and then you get a redstone output over here on the other side of it. And these are great for certain applications and not so great for others where you don't want the extra redstone output whenever you push the button. But main thing is when you push the button, this takes a lot longer to actually cycle up. So if you just look, I push the button and then it turns off and then it turns back on. This is pretty much instantaneous. So torch towers are a little slower, but they do certainly have a function, and they're pretty cheap to build. You never have to have repeaters. You never have to have anything. Just, you know, if you need a pretty standard way to get a signal from A to B, this is a pretty nice way to go. Next up, we have a slab tower. Now, slab towers are only up. This is another thing that's true with torch towers. They only work if you're going up. They do not work coming back down. So slab tower lets you go up only. It does not transfer power out of the slabs because they're half blocks. They're considered transparent, and it just works. So, and in this one, our area for changing over from one side to the other is, you know, we place a glass block in here instead of the slab that we replaced in the glass tower. We place a glass block in the slab tower, and then it goes up there, it comes around here, and this prevents feedback as well, and it goes right on up. So if we push the button, we'll see that that goes out just as quickly as the glass one does, faster than the torch tower again. And yeah, this one again won't work going back down. So if I place a redstone torch, let's grab our redstone torch from down here, and oops, we'll just place our redstone torch right up here, and you'll see it just doesn't go down. Now, the fact that it actually goes up slabs is a complete mystery to everyone because, you know, if it can't come down, why can it go up? But hey, it works, so we don't question too much. And then we just put that back, and we'll grab another torch here and drop that in there, so this whole thing is repaired. This is up only, just like this tower, except, you know, it's a lot faster. So if this thing was super tall, you'd see a really slow climb. And this is almost instant, just one tick for every expansion you have in it. This is some of the concepts behind these towers here. So glass blocks do not conduct, basically they don't conduct redstone signals. So if in a normal situation you power this block, it's going to turn off this torch, right? And so it just doesn't, because this block actually never powers. It doesn't power the redstone circuit on top of it. Nothing happens here. So if you look at this one, you see we've got this redstone line running down here, and in this case this block is never powered, and so it doesn't short circuit this torch, right? So I can push this. I mean, the signal's on. It doesn't make any difference what I do here. As a matter of fact, if I take a button and I stick it here, the torch doesn't go out, right? Like nothing happens here. This glass block does not conduct the signal, and therefore, you know, this concept here won't short circuit out either. Now this one, on the other hand, as you can see, the torch is out. This one short circuits itself out because these are both solid blocks. So if I push this, it'll come on, and then it's just going to blink a bunch and turn itself right back out. And this is kind of the idea behind, you know, using slabs, using glass in different places in your designs, is you get different effects from the different blocks that you're using. Solid blocks versus transparent blocks versus half blocks. So this is just something to bear in mind when you're designing your redstone circuits. These things all work a little bit differently. Obviously, I can't put a button on a half, a slab. Otherwise, that would be, something else to show, hey, this works or doesn't work. Just it can't share redstone with a button on it because you can only put a button on top of a half slab. So it just won't work. All right, over here we have a way to extend a signal. Like say we got this repeater line and we want every block all the way down through, long distance. We want every block in that line to have a repeater going into it. How in the world do we get this line to expand without creating an infinite power source? Because if you have redstone and you're running it along like this, and then you want to say, it runs out here and you want to expand it, well, then you need to put a repeater in. But then now you've got this feedback loop of redstone here, and you don't want that in any of your designs ever. So how do we fix this in a straight line of redstone that we need to get some different outputs out without feeding back? And so this is the way that you end up doing that. You kind of, this still gives you your output this direction from this repeater. So you get your line of redstone. This repeater puts your output there where the redstone would normally be, but it blocks the redstone from going across this path. This is the key here. And then you have another repeater going into redstone that continues on down that way. So you can just expand this on down, and it will just keep right on going. Whenever you need to do it again, you just build another little quirky thing like this right here. Now, one of the things that is true of this particular design with all these repeaters, when I flip this switch, you'll notice if the video frame rate is high enough that these redstone components will light first, not those three over there on the side. They'll light like in a second set. So let's get over here where you can actually see that. We'll give this thing a whirl, and you can kind of see them light in two phases and they unlight in two phases. And that is because of the redstone delay and these two repeaters. So this adds a tick and then these add a tick. So what we can do if we want to get this all to kind of be coordinated, we just set these all on 2 ticks, and then these would be on 1 tick, and then these would be on 1 tick. So now you have 2 ticks for all of those, and 2 ticks combined there, 2 ticks combined there, and 2 ticks combined there. So that will actually let them all light synchronously. So all of your repeaters up in the front row light at the same time if that's important for you. Now, however, that does limit your expansion to a total of 4 sets. So just bear that in mind. If you need something to be like perfectly timed all the way across, then you get a total of 48 blocks across before you're going to have to do something different. Just a matter of life in Bedrock. Next up, I wanted to show off a little bit of kind of some redstone trickery here with the glass towers and stuff, and mainly feeding it back down. So this would be a standard glass tower going up, right? This is kind of the same design we had over there with the glass tower. So here we have a glass tower going down, and you see if you put a power source on top of this, it just goes right back down this glass block. And if you push the button, boom, light goes out. Okay, so it travels up and down glass. On slabs, it only travels up. So we got up, 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 and this works all great and fine. Let's go ahead and put our redstone torch up here at the top and light that. Doesn't really matter. Actually, wait a minute. That's what that next circuit is. Never mind. Okay, so over here we have a slab tower going down, and as you can see, redstone torch, power, no power. This will never go back down slabs no matter how hard you try. So slabs are always upward only. Glass can go both ways. So if you need something to go both ways, glass goes both ways. And I'll show you a great example of what these towers and stuff do over here I have built a elevator shaft type design. Right now it is going up, but then if I push this button, now it goes down. But what if you got you went down your mine shaft and you only wanted one elevator entrance, but now it only goes down, right? And you got to like dig the block out and then replace it with soul sand. And you get to the top, and now it's soul sand, and you can't get back down into your mine. So that's not something you want, right? So we swap it out for our soul sand. We go up to the top, and then up here we got another button, and now that is magma, and we get to go back down. So this is one of those areas where you want a glass tower. This just lets the signal go back down without costing too much in expense. So these are some ideas for you for moving your signal from point A to point B and back and forth. Just it's a necessary evil sometimes, and these are the different ways you can do it. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you liked the video, and feel free to leave comments. Let me know if I left anything out, and I will see you in the next video.